Hey, what's up? Welcome back. If there's one thing that I hate in general about my lifestyle is that I hate paying my mortgage. Thousands of dollars per month is going to a bank that lent me hundreds of thousands of dollars to purchase the property. And ultimately, over the 30-year fixed mortgage, I'll be paying back the bank 3 times more than what they originally lent me. It's a sad reality and it's a common story for the typical homeowner in America, but I'm here to tell you that you don't have to pay for the full mortgage. So what do I mean by that? I mean, the main goal here is to make sure that you can keep as much money in your pocket and have someone else pay the loan down for you, which is a great transition because this video is all about how to not pay your full mortgage. This video will be talking about the overarching goal of investing in real estate, and there will be some tough pills to swallow, especially since everyone is on social media. The influencers on social media often talk about how much they made in real estate, like hundreds of thousands of dollars last year or whatever that time period is. And I'm here to tell you, if you want to make that much money, it will take grit and a lot of hard work and perseverance to get through all the challenges. So let's start off with the first hard to pill swallow. And in this current market, when I'm recording this in mid-February of 2024, even if you're house hacking or just investing in general, it's going to be really tough for you to cash flow on a certain property. I know it's really tough to hear, and maybe this only pertains to more of the long-term rental strategy where you have people stay from 6 months to maybe a year or multiple years at a time. It's really tough, but if you want to use the Airbnb or midterm rental strategy, I feel like there's some wiggle room if you find the right property and the great location. And for you house hackers out there, I know you're probably looking at putting in less than 20% down on your property, which might make things a little bit harder because with lower money down, it means the loan amount is much larger, which increases your monthly payments. So to make things a little bit more clear, the more money you put down, the lower the loan amount, which means your monthly payments are a lot lower. So for example, if you put 50% down on $1 million property at 7.5% interest rate, your mortgage is about $3,500 per month. Now let's say you put 20% down on that same home, your loan amount is $800,000, and at 7.5% interest rate, your monthly payments will be approximately $5,600 per month. And that's because your payment towards the interest increases significantly when you put less money down. So remember, this is just your principal and interest payments. Of course, you got to factor in your insurance and tax payments along with that. So it might be higher than your $3,600 or $5,600, depending on however much you put down on the property. And to be honest, I'm a little bit more conservative on my rates right now. I know I mentioned 7.5%, but in actuality, at this point in time in the market, you're looking at 6.5%, maybe 7%. So yeah, $3,500 a month for a $500,000 loan is pretty significant, especially when a couple years back, we were looking at 3-ish% interest rates. And those monthly payments looked like they were $2,000 to $2,500 per month. So significant increase. Nonetheless, we are in the market we are in right now, and we can't change much about that. So how do we navigate through this market right now? So imagine that you house hack and make an income of about $1,500 per month by renting out the rooms, the basement, the garage, or whatever it is, decreasing your principal and interest payment from $3,500 to $2,000 a month. That's pretty significant. So let's say you're coming from a 2-bed, 1-bath place in the heart of Denver, and you're renting that right now, and you're paying about $1,700 per month. You're, of course, not taking advantage of the tax advantages, the control that you have over the property, the equity gain on it as well. So let's keep that aside right now. So we're just going to set that aside for now, and I'm going to tell you a little bit of a story. My friend who's currently renting a 3-bed, 2-bath in the Temecula area, which is like North San Diego, he had the opportunity to buy a brand new construction just down the street from where he is currently renting. So he's renting a 3-bed, 2-bath place for about $3,300 per month. And the brand new construction is priced at $550,000. So he wanted to put down 5% on the home, which you definitely can. You don't have to wait for that 20%. He wanted to put down 5% on that new construction, and he wanted to see what that mortgage payment might be. And so the good friend that I am, I decided to run the numbers for him, and lo and behold, after learning about the insurance and possible taxes in that specific area, he's looking to pay about $4,600 per month. So yeah, you have renting a 3-bed, 2-bath for $3,300 a month versus owning the property for $4,600 per month. And that's not even including the 5% down, which is about $30,000 that he would have to put into the property. So far, so bad for this scenario. So on the surface, this was not a great financial decision, but I asked him one more thing. I was like, hey man, I'm gonna ask you a certain question that might determine whether you can afford this place or not. And he's like, sure, what's up? Like, what's on your mind? And I told him, are you guys open to house hacking? Because that would severely impact how much you would actually have to pay out of pocket in that brand new construction. He said, no, I'm actually not looking to move into the new construction and live with roommates with his significant other. And I did a little bit more digging and researching. He can make about $1,100 per month in that specific area per room. So with all that, I mean, with all the cards faced up on the table, I told him, hey man, because you're not house hacking, I mean, that's a significant increase per month that you're paying, and you have to dedicate so much money just for the down payments. I honestly don't think this is the best financial decision for you at this point in time. Because as much as I want you to get into real estate, I feel like I'm like a financial advisor for you. I want to make sure that you're making the right decision for whatever lifestyle that you want now and in the future. So with that being said, if you're ever curious about, what that might possibly look like, or if you have an opportunity to buy a new property, hit me up. All my contact information is in the description below. I would love to help you out with your next investment or house hack, or even if you're trying to relocate here, let me know. So then wrapping all this up, if he were to rent out those 2 bedrooms and him and his significant other live in the 3rd bedroom, he would be making $2,200 per month in the house, right? So taking his mortgage of $4,600 minus the $2,200, he would be paying what, about $2,400 per month, which is about $900 less per month on the property if we were to own it and rent out each of the rooms. And in a place like San Diego, Temecula more specifically, where it's a growing area, heavily appreciating with all these vineyards and wineries in town, I think if he holds on to that place for 5+ years, he's going to be sitting pretty. And remember, the goal of house hacking is to not live completely for free or even cash flow. It's actually to just reduce your living expenses as much as possible. The average American spends about 1/3 of their income towards their living expenses. So if you're making about $6,000 a month, anticipate that you would spend about $2,000 a month, and that's for the average American. So imagine if your living expenses was only $800 versus the $2,000 for the average American. You're saving $1,200, which is a lot more money that you're saving than if you were to just cut out Starbucks from your life, where let's say each cup of coffee is $5 per day and there's 30 days per month. You're only saving $150 on Starbucks, like cutting. So keep your living expenses low, invest the difference, and you can set yourself up for the future and sit back and relax with a lot less stress on your mind in the future. So now this part of the video is for my clients that are looking to buy a second home in the Colorado area, and for you people looking to invest or buy a second home in the mountains. I'm here to tell you that you don't have to pay your full mortgage on that either. Investors who have a second home often have a hard time with the 2 mortgages, and that's completely understandable. Now, I know it's really tough to house hack when you have a significant other and kids and maybe even a dog in the primary residence, but when you have a second home that's in the mountains or in Denver or somewhere like that, I think you could rent out the home for like 9 months out of the year and have those remaining 3 months for you to enjoy. And I know a couple of property managers and co-hosts who can help maintain that second home as an investment property while you're back at your primary residence. And whenever you decide to go visit the second home just to go chill in the mountains, just let the property managers know and they'll just block off that time so you can go visit. And so by the time you visit, you would have cut your mortgage in half or more so that you don't have to worry about each mortgage to its full potential. I've made a couple of videos on the best ways to make money on your investment properties, and those two strategies would be the short-term and midterm rental strategies. And instead of paying the full mortgage amount of, let's say, $4,000 per month, rent it out as a midterm rental or short-term rental so that you can cut it, mitigate it as much as possible, or even break even by the time you move in there, where you reserve that 1 month for you to live in there with your family. And just in case you didn't know, here's a little bit of a secret. You could put as little as 10% down on your second home. It's not like an investment property where you're never going to live in there, where that requires you to have 20% down, but you can't put as little as 5% down because it's not going to be your primary residence. So for a second home, you could put down 10%. And if you need a lender that will help you get that 10% second home mortgage, let me know and I'll make that connection. So hopefully this video has helped you out with trying to understand how to mitigate your mortgage as much as possible and never pay your full mortgage. It's just really tough out there, especially with this kind of market, and I want to make sure that you are comfortable going forward in whatever real estate market you're in, and you're just set for life with real estate investing. And I am here if you need me. Again, my contact information is down below. And if you really enjoyed this video, make sure you like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to not miss any updates on the Denver markets and advice on real estate investing in general. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you next week.